Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack. This is JTH Books, and it's time for the top 10 of the year so far. I nearly forgot that we were not in December, and it's not the end of the year, but we carry on, we roll on. So, I found this list hard to make, actually. Well, not so much the books, but the order. And they're down there, and I'm looking at them now, and I'm still not 100% sure. But I think, I'm going to stick with this order. I'm going to stick with it. Trust myself. I will say I don't think some of these are going to be here at the end of the year, because I've got some ones that I am really looking forward to. There's some right down here, a little pile that you can't see, that I'm very much looking forward to. But so let's go. Shall we do it? Shall we talk about these? Okay, let's go. So spot number 10 is Vagabonds by Eloghosa Osunde. It took me a little while to get into this one. I think that is why it is number 10. And it's almost like interconnecting short stories, really, but it is a novel. They sort of connect up a little bit with Eloghosa is a Nigerian writer, and it's set in Nigeria and Lagos mainly, and Lagos really plays a part in the novel. It's almost like a character. You sort of follow the spirit of it, and you sort of see these people throughout. And even as I'm talking about it now, I'm like, no, see, I really love the sound of that. But it did take me a while to get into, and it did confuse me a little bit at the beginning. But something I never do is I have dog-eared this book, because sometimes the writing was so beautiful, especially speaking about its queerness, that it made me cry. And I didn't expect it. So that is why it has made it. I think there's 3 or 4 tabs. And I never ever, not tabs, dog ears. Don't judge me for hurting a book. I didn't mean to. But that's why it's made onto this list, because I still think about how this made me cry. I really like sob. So yeah, that is number 10. If you haven't read this, it's number 10. I recommend it, obviously. So yeah, check that one out. How do we feel about stickers on books? Because I got 2 on this book. They haven't taken off. Well, we all hate stickers. I know we all hate stickers. The Waterstones exclusive edition, or £3 off. I don't mind that sticker for the price. But this is, some people have loved this. Some people have hated this. I guess I'm in the love column, because it's number 9, and it is To Paradise by Hanya Yanaghara. Now, I'm actually not that big of a fan of It's a Little Life. Well, I am, that's not true, but I don't hold it in such high regards as some other people. I know some people love it, it's their favourite. Good for them. And I was really excited for this one, and I don't think it disappoints, but it did disappoint a little bit, but it didn't disappoint much. It is told in 3, I've got a free bookmark when I brought it. It's told in 3 books, essentially. Book 1, book 2, book 3. And the first one is set in 1893, when New York is part of the Free States. Then you have 1993, a Manhattan besieged by the AIDS epidemic, and a young Hawaiian man lives with a much older, wealthier partner. And then in 2093, in a world riven by plagues and governed by totalitarian... I can't say that word. I can read it, but I cannot say it. I'm not going to even try. Oh, that's embarrassing. But I absolutely loved... Well, I thought the first story, we'd read that before. Not so much the Free State and the open love in the 1980s, 1890s. But I thought the story, and I thought we'd read that all before. I thought that didn't really interest me much. And then the first half of the second one didn't do it for me either, which I found to be the opposite of people. And I loved the second half of the second one, and I think the third one's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. If somebody wants to lend you this book, maybe just read the third one, because it's brilliant. But it's pandemic, so trigger warnings, because we were still in it. But I thought the second half of the second one was just so different. So like anything I've ever read. And then the third one, it had me on the edge of my seat almost, you know. But yeah, I don't think this will be here by the end of the year. It might get an honourable mention. If I do honourable mentions, I'm pretty sure it'll be there because I do love that third one. So yeah, To Paradise by Hanya and Yanaghara. Coming at number 8 is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Oh, I paused because I thought it should be higher then. Unfortunately, I put that higher. But again, I've spoken about this on the channel before. It's about told in 2 timelines of, I can't remember anyone's name in the book. It tells Leah, who goes down into the sea to do a research trip. It's only meant to be down there for, I don't know how long, but it turns out to be much longer than they ever expected, and you know things go wrong. And it's when the other part of the story is when she comes back from that, and her wife is trying to get used to who she is now after the events that she's been through. And I just thought it was brilliant. It's so beautifully written. And the ending, I said this before on the channel, the ending is that kind of magic that only works in books. And look at the cover. It is stunning. But it is the kind of magic that only works in books. It just makes sense in books. The ending just, I was in it, I was into it. I don't want it to end. But I don't think this will be here by the end of the year either. At the end of the year one, I'll do like, this was, and then we'll see, won't we? But I don't, it might be. I've got to stop judging these books so harshly. What was that number? 8, 9, 10, 9, 8. Coming at number 7 is The Dance Tree by Kiran, Millwood, Hargrave. This is set in Strasbourg in 1518, and it is about a husband and wife who are going to lose their farm and their bees. They keep bees. I love any books that features bees. Secret Life of Bees, this book. But they're going to lose their farm and their bees to, I can't think of, to the church. I think it's the church. And also then their sister-in-law Neith, comes back from penance in the mountains for 7 years, and we don't know what happened there. And then the husband goes away, and there is also mass hysteria, which is a true story, which I didn't know, of all these women dancing in the square for hours and hours and hours. They're dying on here. People at the time don't know if it's madness or religion. They don't know. But I think the way Kieran just puts it all together is brilliant. And the story of Neith and Lisbeth and the things that happen, which I won't give away, is really interesting. But for me, what made this book feel like magic was Kieran includes little chapters of sort of short chapters of other women's lives that are going to the dance. They feel like they've been called to dance in this mass hysteria. And that, for me, was what I absolutely loved. There's only a few, and I absolutely loved them. I could have done with more of them. So, yeah. If that sounds interesting, it's historical fiction, queerness, go for it. All these books have got queerness in it, actually. I think it's a pretty queer list, which does sum me up, I guess. Coming at number 6, A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. I spoke about this one recently, I think. It's probably in last month's wrap-up. I'll link that down below. But I loved it. I absolutely loved this one. I really struggled to find good queer historical fiction that I like. There's obviously some good queer ones out there, but I loved this one. This is about Viola Carroll, who is presumed dead in the war. Well, no, she fakes her death in the war so she can come back as who she really is. And she moves in with her brother and sister-in-law who accept her fully. And then her old best friend, who is really struggling with the loss of their best friend, she has to go see him and things ensue. And I just loved it. It got a bit steamy. It's got a brilliant trans main character, I felt. I almost wanted it to be a series. I said this before. I could read a whole series of these two characters of Viola and Justin. But yeah, it's a brilliant romance. It's steamy. It's totally believable. And it's 450 pages, and I read it so quickly I could not put it down. And that is always a sign of a good book. Coming in at number 5 is, I nearly said Long Live the Scandal. That is not the title. It is The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean. Now, I am actually still reading this at the moment. I'm about 2/3 of the way through. My bookmark's in it, which is annoying. But, so you're thinking, how can this be on the list, Jack? Well, it's on it because I am absolutely, really, really enjoying it. In this, we follow James, whose dad, the king, has just died, and now it's up to him to become king. He's going to be the king. He's going to rule the country. But he's the first black king ever in the United Kingdom, and he is met with racism and people saying he cannot lead, and it's all about the tabloids who are, well, somebody is leaking the secrets of the palace to this one racist tabloid who's out to get them, and it's just full of intrigue, and I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know who's leaking. Sometimes I think it's this person, sometimes it's that person, I think that person, and that is a sign of a good book. But I'm loving what it has to say on races, especially in the UK. It's very reminiscent of how so many people in this country treated Meghan awfully just because she was black, and it makes me so angry. But yeah, it draws on that. You can definitely tell that, and it feels real. It points at how racist this country can be and how we treat our royals, and it's a really brilliant blend. It's queer, but I want to say it's a love story, but at the moment I don't know because of the scandal that's happening. I don't know because of the scandal. But unless this book goes really wrong, it is going to be one of my favourite YAs of the year because I'm absolutely loving it. And after I finish this video, I'm going to go read it because I want to know what happens. Coming at number 4 is Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta. In this book, we follow Mac, whose dad is a filmmaker. And Mac has had a crush on Kay for the longest time, his first love, and they get together. And Kay's sort of not quite comfortable with who he is yet. And then Mac has to leave to move to Scotland with his dad to shoot a movie. His dad's shooting a movie, he goes with them. And there he kind of meets someone else, and that's all I'll say. I'll let you read the rest. But hold on, I've just got to change the position because my feet are starting to go numb. And it's hot in the UK, and I got shorts on. Oh, not with it was over. Whew, what happened there? All because I had to move. But yeah, I really loved this one. I thought, and after I've read it, I'm loving it more. Like, I just sometimes pick it up and read little snippets, and I think, oh, it was really beautiful written. It's written in verse, so it's a very quick read. No, this American hardback is chunky. But it's YA, but it feels mature. And I don't mean mature as in, graphic things or unrealistic. The characters just feel, maybe because they just had such depth to them, and I could really understand their reasoning. And I think it just sort of took this YA book to another level for me, I guess. And I love The Black Flamingo, also by Dean Atta. If you haven't read that, check it out. But yeah, it's just, I love what it has to say on being who you are. And again, it tackles, the racism in the UK. And it talks about being proud of who you are and loving who you love. And there's some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poetry on it. There's one here called The Lighthouse, which I absolutely love. I've spoken about before. But yeah, another banger from Dean Atta. His name? Yeah, it's Dean. That's good. Benjamin Dean. Flip the Script by Lyla Lee. I've spoken about this on this channel so many times. You all know I absolutely love it. But in this we follow Hannah, who has moved to Korea with her parents to become a Korean drama star, and she lands the biggest show of the season, and when it premieres it doesn't quite do well, so she's set up on a fake date with her co-star Brian, and then another character comes in. Then I can't remember her name, that's so annoying, and it's not the back. Then to spice it up, they decide to make a drama, and the two girls have to fight for Brian in the show, but maybe the two girls fall in love. And I love K-dramas. If you've watched It's okay to not be okay. You know who this is. If you haven't, watch it. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Yeah, I loved all the behind the scenes of Korean drama. I loved Hannah and Brian, and I can't remember the girl's name. Minji, I knew that. Yeah, it's just my favourites of the year. I absolutely adored it. I loved how it tackled queerness in Korea, where it's not as widely accepted as it is somewhere like the UK. And I loved I didn't know how it was going to go, but I loved the stance Lyla took on it and how bold and brave they were. And it's romantic, it's sweet, it's sapphic. It's got K-dramas in. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. We all knew I was going to love this one. And I did. And it's out now. It's come out now, so get on it. And in second place is Tiepolo Blue by James Carhill. Now, in this, we follow Don, who is a professor at Cambridge University. How can I forget it? I only didn't read it that long ago. It must be Cambridge. Don't you enjoy coming here for these brilliant, brilliant summaries of books? Cambridge, I knew it. Who teaches classic art. And, no, I've lost what I was going to say now because I tried to make a joke, but it didn't work. And then a piece of modern art, let's call it, is installed basically in his front garden. And, it sort of sends Don on a spiral. And, it is a spiral I was happy to be on. There's just so much in this novel. It talks about what is art, and talks about classic art and modern art and who you are and how it makes you, and it tackles queerness and finding your queerness and experimenting with it, and it's brilliant. It is absolutely intoxicating, this book. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, and the descent that this character goes on, that towards the end you're just like, what is going to happen? How can I predict this? Or the ending, well, I loved it. I just thought it was brilliant. The more I think about this book, and it is one of those books that absolutely sticks with you. I think about this book all the time, and I just loved it. I need to buy a finished copy, really. I'm trying not to buy books at the minute, but maybe I'll treat myself. It's been a month, but yeah, I just think it's brilliant. And also, it was like the kind of book, 150 pages in, not much had happened, and we were just talking about art, and I was just enjoying the writing, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of those books I actually want to reread, and I'm not a rereader, but yeah, I just think it is one of the best books to be released this year. And I expect to see it on some prize lists, okay? The Booker Prize, I'm sure you're watching this brilliant video of mine. Make sure this is on the long list. If it's not, I shall probably cry. But yeah, brilliant. It's just brilliant. I love it. So, in the number one spot, if you've been on this channel before, if you haven't, welcome. Stick around. No, I don't blame you for not sticking around after the mess this video has been. But if you have been around before, you will know that my number one book of the year, it has been the same since I read it, is Here Again Now by Okechukwu and Nzelu. Now, in this book, we follow 3 black British men who all have a connection with each other, who all have a love for each other, and it's different kinds of love. Some of it's queer love, some of it's parental love, and it is the way the love is explored in this book, the longing for it, the tenderness of it, the fragility of it, that just makes it absolutely amazing. And then when one of the men is taken away, shall we say, not taken, I don't want to give it away, when one of the men is gone, well, there's the other 2 are left to deal with behind, and to deal with the grief and the loss and the heartache, and it is absolutely brilliant. The tenderness of it, the queer longing, and the queer, and some of it's shame, some of it's love, and it's just, oh, I can't even speak about this book because I just love it so much. But it is so, it's tender and it's honest and it's so beautifully written, and it just deals with so much, and it deals with everything with such grace and class. I don't know if I've sold it to you, but I hope I have. I hope you picked this one up. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, I would reread this too. I will read this at some point. Maybe next year. Maybe I'll reread it when the paperback comes out. But I just think Okechukwu Nzelu is one of the best writers we've got in Britain. I would like to see this on the Booker long list too. I don't know if it will be there, but it should be. It deserves it. It deserves all the prizes, everything. Just so tender, so heartfelt. I wanted to read it slowly, but I didn't, because I did not want it to end. But it ends, and now it holds a place in my heart. So, I'm pretty sure you've heard me talk about this one before. If you haven't picked it up, I guess I won't commit you. But I'm going to try. Pick it up. So that is it. That is my 10 books of the year. And I'm only going to say, I reckon maybe 4 of them will be there at the end of the year. So that's quite exciting. That means we've got, 6 places for new books to come into. Although the reading, it has gone down right now. Oh, your boy is struggling, but we carry on. But I know there's some books coming out that I really want to read, and I think they're going to be 5 stars. And so yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books. I'm going to hold them up, shall I? Hold them up a little bit. Not all of them. Yeah, so let me know if you've read any of these, if you're going to read any of them, if you loved them, or if you didn't like them, I guess. But be kind, because obviously these are my top 10. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. I was going to say my name's Jack, but that's the beginning. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all really, really soon.